Alrighty, hey there. Yeah, it's me again. I uploaded a video on the way home. Well, I shot it on the way home. And they had the phone in the cup holder, but the audio was just horrendous and it was all full of background noise and distortion. So I decided to toss the video, take it down and not use it. The topic of the video was, is it economically viable, feasible to operate what most people would consider a scrap car or a car that's ready for the crusher? I have a 2005 Hyundai Accent. You guys have seen that. You guys have seen some videos on it. There will be some more videos coming on it. But the question was, is it economical to operate it? If you do the repairs yourself, I think so, absolutely. If you don't need it as a major or as your main go-to vehicle to get around, then why not? You could save a fair amount of money operating a car like that. I have a 2021 Silverado 1500 Chevrolet pickup truck. And I love my pickup truck, don't get me wrong, but I don't love the gas mileage and I don't love putting frivolous kilometers on it just driving around. For my American friends, that's mileage, right? The cost of them trucks is expensive enough, and I'm making payments on it. And I like to keep the kilometers low because I want to extend the life of the vehicle. So I had the that Hyundai sitting here. It's not suitable for Peaches to operate it, but I thought, you know what? I might as well drive it because it's sitting there. I'm not going to get jack for it in the junkyard. So, what have I put into it to for me to be able to make this observation to come to this conclusion? Well, the car was already there. The first amount of money I put in there was I fixed the exhaust, and I wanted to make sure that I could fix it all up so that I could at least pass a provincial inspection. So I spent a total of around $125 fixing the exhaust. That was for a flex pipe and a flange kit for it. The next repair that we did on it was we patched the oil pan. The oil pan had a corrosion hole through it, and that cost was nothing. I did it at the same time I did an oil change. The oil pan was patched with epoxy putty that I already had. So we used epoxy putty and we were successful at stopping that leak. The next problem that I had was a horrendous noise coming from the brake caliper on the front. So we took that apart and the calipers were seized on their pins. So they ate the back pad and didn't touch the front pad. So you know what that looks like, uneven pad wear. So we decided to do the standard pads and rotors. And the only reason why I did the rotors is because one was pretty messed up from this frozen caliper ordeal. So I just thought, you know what, I'll change them both. So that was almost, was that around, that was about $160 worth of parts. The calipers I was able to unseize, and it took a fair amount of work. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a couple hours to get them both those calipers done. We got them unseized. We made them float again. So there was savings there. The next problem was after that, we had tires because the tires, one was going down all the time. It had a puncture repair that I stuck in there, but the other it just, I think it, it got drove around on the flat and compromised the sidewall to where it leaked. So I bought a used set of tires for that. That was $100. Jake got them from a guy at work. We got those mounted and the provincial inspection done for $58. The battery died, so that was $160. The what else went? I threw spark plugs in it just because. That's all I put in it for a tune-up was the spark plugs. Everything else was fine. I did pull the plugs. They were older Champion plugs. Now, somebody had said those are original. There was an original Champion plug that was used by Hyundai, which, okay, if that's true, then those were the original plugs, and they looked like they had 150,000 kilometers on them. So I changed those out, and we put the NGKs in. I got the NGKs online, and I put those in. I haven't done anything else. There's been like no tie rod ends, no rear brakes, nothing else on there. So all that's been good. The next thing that I did was the throttle cable broke. And to tell you the truth, I mean, I made jokes in the video that every 2 tankfuls something goes wrong. And that's been about average. Every 2 tankfuls something goes wrong. So that's okay. The windshield wiper motor fiasco. I bought the wiper motor for $49.99 on Amazon. I changed the fuse out in the one that I had, and it started to work. And I thought, you know what? I'll just check it and make sure. So it worked for over a month, no problem. So it's coming up on the drop dead date for sending back that wiper motor. So I sent it back, and guess what? As soon as I sent the damn thing back, it rained in the wiper motor. I turned it on and it quit. So there you go. I don't know what I'm going to do with that wiper motor. I don't know if I'm going to dig into it or I'm going to just buy it again. And then, what kind of burned my butt was I had to pay $16 return shipping on it because there was no reason to ship it back in Amazon's mind. I bought something that I said I needed, and I'm not sending it back because it didn't fit or didn't work. So whatever, right? So there's that. Now, the throttle cable, I got it from Parts Avatar. I looked all over the entire North American continent, and I could not find a throttle cable for a 2005 Hyundai Accent without going to wrecking yards and all that crap. There's no wrecking yards around here. And even if there is, they're not likely to have a 2005 Hyundai Accent because they all wanted a crusher. 2005 was the last year for that throttle cable. As you probably know, anything else would have been either a later design of that primitive cable setup or drive-by-wire, wire cableless, servo-controlled throttle. So, yeah, I got that from Parts Avatar, and they were the only ones that had it, and I was surprised. Like they were saying 3 weeks delivery, I got it in 3 days. So I got the cable, and then after, well, it was 2 days before I got the cable, Parts Avatar, which is our version of Rock Auto in Canada, they said to me that they would give me 20% back if I shot a video of me changing the cable and throw it up on YouTube. So I thought, well, why not? I don't like endorse companies or products unless A, I like them, B, their quality, and C, they have good service. So why not? I can share that with you guys if you need parts, right? Why wouldn't I? Share quality product, quality companies, quality sources, like whatever you want to call it. They had the part, and nobody else did. And, oh, by the way, Hyundai Korea would not commit to a ship date on it. And that was through the Hyundai store. And they said they had no stock in North America, believe it or not. I mean, there must have been quite a few Accents sold in America and still kicking around in the southern states that haven't turned into crispy tater chips, right? But anyway, so they would not commit to anything. So I thought, well, and then we did the video where we made one out of bicycle brake cable, and that's fine. It works great. But I thought, you know what? My wife drives it or whatever. I don't want nothing to break down. So, it's going to end up costing me $60. Which, okay, is good. Now, the tank of gas in the truck's $150. Tank of gas in the Hyundai, I think, is about $60. So you can see where I'm going with this. And it gets the mileage on it, or the gas consumption in Canada, we call it how many liters per 100 kilometers. And that thing's 7. The average is 7 liters per 100 kilometers. My truck is probably 12.5 on a good run. So you can see where I'm going. I'm not putting on unnecessary mileage on my truck, just doing non-truck things. It's way cheaper to operate. I know it doesn't have air conditioning, and I got this Bluetooth gongly thing for listening to music because there's no music up here in the North Shore. Yeah, so that it is what it is. I got to run back and forth to Fredericton, which is a 3-hour drive, 3 hours and a bit, 3 hours 47 minutes. That's a bit. And I just want something to burn up and down that highway. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick my neck out and give it a shot, because I took a job down in Fredericton, and the drive from the North Shore is not going to be an easy one or a short one. Definitely not commutable. So that's why that was the big push to get the Hyundai up on four tires, as they say, back on the road and usable. So if you're considering it, if you have an older car around and you're handy, now forget it if you're taking it to an auto mechanic, because this would I'm paying almost $600 a month payments for the truck, and if you sat down and did the math, I've already put 5,000 kilometers on the Hyundai. There's economics there, and it's still going, and we can still use it, right? So I'm going to keep track of it. I'm going to do all the repairs. So the next repairs coming up is 2 front wheel bearings. They were $60. I already bought them, and I'm going to do those before I start making the long highway drives, because they're getting pretty growly. And then the throttle cable. So that'll be the next 2 things. So I'm going to keep going on this thing, because why not, right? I save a lot of kilometers on the truck, And the truck, by the way, the oil changes are around about $165 for an oil change. I use top of the line synthetic, and that's whether I use my AMSOIL products that I love so much, or if I send it into the dealership. So, yeah. So when you're not putting kilometers on the vehicle, you're also not using up your oil change. You're also not using fuel. You're also saving, keeping the value up. I know there's no such thing in a vehicle, but you are kind of slowing down the angel of death when it comes to depreciation of vehicles. So there you are. That's it in a nutshell. I'm a good mechanic. I've been a mechanic all my life. I'm not an automotive mechanic, but I have built race cars ground up. I have done a lot of automotive work. I have worked in automotive shops. I'm an industrial mechanic by trade, so I can do it. If you were to own a beat-off car, a beater, grocery getter, as we lovingly call it, the Shyte Missile, if you own something like that, then if you can do the repairs yourself, then why not? Go ahead. You're going to save some money. If you have to take it to a garage, probably not. So there's my spiel on junk cars and owning them. I started that way. My first car was, I think, the first car I put on the road legally was $50 I paid for it. I mean, I've bought cars for cases of beer, so there you go. Well, we're back to that game again. Yep, crusty brake lines, all that fun-loving stuff that I said I would never do again. But here we are doing it again. So anyway, thanks again for tuning in. Thanks again for subscribing. Thanks again for ringing the notification bell. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't mean anything to you necessarily, but it means a lot to the channel, and it means a lot to people who are looking for us, because it puts us up in the algorithms. Don't forget to hit the like button. Love you guys so much. Thank you for being a part of the group, and we'll see you soon, probably with the throttle cable video, or something else comes up in between. But we should be shooting that one this week. So God bless. Take care. Bye-bye. Peace out. See you soon.